YCS Charlotte's come and gone. I want to talk about implications out of this event here. And no, I'm not crazy when I think it's time to talk more about ban list. Don't beg the 30% of you guys have not smashed the living crap out of that subscribe button. Smash it so we can get to 104,000. We're literally 100 away from clearing into 104. So, what's going on here? YCS Charlotte's come and gone. Besides all the controversy that I could give two craps about that came out of it, we had the event breakdown in yesterday's video where we talked about, wow, Prank Kids have gone further ahead in terms of things, and I've kind of mentioned this a little bit, and I've got naysayers down here in my comment section that are going, Robbie, you know, Prank Kids isn't the best deck in the room. If Prank Kids' conversion rate, you know, if the deck is winning multiple regionals, and I mean, this is first place, this isn't, you know, top eights, this is, if this deck is converting and winning multiple regionals, if this deck comes over here and wins the first YCS, alright, you gotta ask yourself, ladies and gentlemen, well, maybe it's the best deck, alright? I don't, when you can argue about tier 0 shenanigans via turnovers and numbers, but when you have a deck that is coming this far along in terms of consistency, maybe it's good. Okay, that being said, ladies and gentlemen, sorry, I just had to process the thoughts in my head here, because I swear people keep telling me that Prank Kids isn't, you know, the scary as it looks. I understand that Prank Kids as a deck is not that unbeatable, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe it's the brave stuff that makes the deck, the Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer stuff that makes the deck a whole lot. We'll talk more about that here in a little bit. But you have to understand, ladies and gentlemen, when you have one card consistency engine enablers here, you got to ask yourself, well, you know, is this a thing? And you once you look at it, you're like, well, based on turnover and conversion for wins, yeah, it's a thing, ladies and gentlemen. So, ladies and gentlemen, my thoughts going forward here. Now, that being said, the Brave package. That's the ban list. All right. There are multiple problem cards in the format here, and I think that we've addressed these. And in the past, we've looked at like Based having what I would say like one of the highest ceilings in the format here. But the other deck that really I think contends with Based in terms of things is literally Prank Kids, because you know, Prank Kids is now basically using half of the toolbox that you've seen Based playing, because they get to incorporate the Brave package, you know, they get to incorporate some of the other stuff, and I mean, like, when you can chop down on the amount of, you know, Prank Kids in the deck, instead of playing 3 ofs, you can get away with seeing 2 ofs in the deck, you gotta ask yourself, well, if I can reduce my consistency and put in other good cards, that's the thing. And yes, you can also make the argument right now that, as of right now in Yu-Gi-Oh!, there really has never been a point where we've had more good stuff, cookie cutter cards in a long time. Actually, I almost want to kind of compare this format almost back to maybe cookie cutter chaos isn't like such a detrimental like comparison, but I mean, when you look back at that format, like, you had all these good cards that you could splash together, and you forward here, you got Magician Souls, Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer, the Brave package. And, you know, if you want to count your Prank Kids main core as that, plus hand traps, there's so many generic good effects that aren't really, like, deemed supposed to be generic at this point in time, but that's what's happened. All of these engines with these subpar, you know, restrictions on them, and they've come together into what we're at right now. So, once again, with that being said, because you get to see this YCS in the light that is, you get to see these non-restrictive engines doing so damn well. It is ridiculous to me. So, what the heck has Charlotte taught us, ladies and gentlemen? Well, one, I just want to be upfront here. Prank Kids is now on, I would assume, Konami's radar, and I heard infinite comments from everybody going, well, you know, like, we don't really need to go after the deck, and that's fine, you can have that opinion. I think if we hit the other correct choices here, that we don't have to go after Prank Kids as hard. And one thing I did say, you know, was I think Meow Meow, Konami might finally want to go after that. Now, if you guys have realized this, the ban list is always about going, cha-ching, we like money. And we've already reprinted Praying Kids stuff down to the ground. Like, the deck is pretty much minimal rarity now. It's not going to cost you really anything, and that's fine, ladies and gentlemen. I think that's what the real value is like, the deck is cheap, but Konami's going to look at Meow Meow right now and go, you've been such a troublesome engine for us that I think Meow Meow is now on the chopping block because of all of the generic cards. Don't get me wrong, all right? I don't think that Meow Meow is truly, like, I think that the deck, once we cut back on all the engines, it'll send it really far back into the Stone Age, and then it's probably going to be fine. But Konami looks at everything and goes, well, collateral damage, time to take care of everything. So I foresee 4 Link monsters getting banned on this next list. And I'm sorry, I do think that Doodle Doop 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 to 1 is a suitable fix with maybe a slap on the wrist for place. That's my alternative hit to Meow Meow getting banned. Alright, I would like to see the deck in some capacity, but you have to remember the way that Konami does things, we'll probably see Meow Meow actually getting axed here, which will kill the deck. And I know Yu-Gi-Oh! Players want the deck to still be playable, as do I. But I think that the realistic approach here is, because of turnover and conversion rates right now, you're going to see that. So, I do see Meow Meow going away on the next list. Now, following suit with that, you've literally watched this channel, Verte Anaconda is on that chopping block as well. Verte, I've literally said, has been a hindrance in card design for so long. Japan finally got rid of it. If you want to see Verte Anaconda around for another format, you are crazy, honestly. Like, I don't know if you're the good kind of crazy either, alright? You're the kind that wants to sit here through one of the most toxic formats, and I don't want that. I don't want to truly sit through Albaz format with DPE shenanigans and go, oh, boy, here we go again. Like, that does not sound fun to me at any stretch of the imagination, ladies and gentlemen. So I actually really, really hope that we get Verte removed out of that equation. Now, number 3 on that chopping block is actually Dagda. And yes, I know everybody says that, well, not everybody. I'm still up in the air about Scythe versus Dagda. But the structure deck is literally coming out. By the time a ban list would roll out 4 weeks afterwards, Konami wants that structure deck to have longevity. They're not going to want to ban something out of it, I think, right away. That's why I think that they're going to go after Dagda over Scythe. Once again, if you have to understand, like, extra deck utilities are stupid good. Look at Verte. Alright, at least with Scythe, you have to dump it off of, Beatrice, and then revive it through that way, And I mean, I guess you won't have to worry about DPE shenanigans once Verte gets banned, which means that technically that would slow that down. Verte, can we just get rid of Verte? And the whole debate, and just end the debate, just get rid of Dagda too? Because that's 3 blue cards that are problems here. Now, to answer the last big debate here, the Hulk versus Auroradon. I actually have a feeling that Konami is going to go after Auroradon because of, by the time Ghost from the Past drops, I have a feeling we're getting a list before Dimension Force. We usually get a ban list before a core set. With that being said, I think that before Dimension Force, Ghost from the Past drops 2 weeks beforehand, they're not going to want to shut off immediate sales right away. That's not within the best graces of Konami. We know Hulk is reprinted in there. I have a feeling that they're going to look at, the Synchro Toolbox shenanigans that we've had going on here. Even though Auroradon isn't, like, too crazy, at the end of the day, I think it's definitely the weakest point on this chopping block here, but being able to, spin down and make, go from a Borreload Savage with a Hopier Squadron and climb on up into a Baron is a little bit annoying, but I think those are only generalized results because of the way that the format is right now. So, those are the 4 big bans, and I'll talk a little bit more. Yes, I do think that Brave should get semi-limited. I'll just toss that in there, too. I do agree that having that engine run around 3 is a little bit much. Or there is the hot take that Konami could ban Griffin Rider. Yeah, imagine that. That would be wild. But if YCS Charlotte taught us anything, it's that those 4 cards are now up on that immediate ban block. And I know a lot of players aren't too dang happy to have me say that. But if you're a Praying Kids player, it's not looking like a good time for you out here at all right now. So, maybe sell the deck and make a little bit of money. I don't know. That's your decision. Maybe I could be wrong. I want to be wrong. I actually kind of like Praying Kids as a deck, you know, for the easiness and flow the Meow Meow gave to them. But that's just where we are right now, guys. So please, leave a comment down below what you guys think. Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out more awesome content. And I'll see your beautiful faces back here later on the day, guys. Peace out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.